Hello, good people, and welcome. Let's take a look at question 3 from November 2025 Maths Paper 1. They say that the depth of a torpedo below sea level forms a quadratic pattern, right? So the depth, right? So the depth forms a quadratic pattern. So how the depth changes is represented as a quadratic pattern, right? Where 0 meters is at sea level. A submarine tracked a torpedo in 1 second intervals, right? So here you can see that at the end of the first second, it was 36 meters deep. At the end of 2 seconds, it was 71 meters deep. And at the end of 3 seconds, it was 104 meters deep. So they told us important information. They say that the depth is represented as a quadratic pattern. So we know that a quadratic pattern is one that has a common second difference, right? So the second difference is common. So if this is the first term, 36, the second term is 71, the third term is 104, right? If I say 104 minus 71 and 71 minus 36, that would give me my what? My first difference, which is not common. It's only the second difference that has to be common. So let's say 104 minus 71. Let's see how much we get. We get 33, right? Let's say 71 minus 36. Let's see how much we get. We get 35, right? So here we have 35, and the common difference would be 33 minus 35, which would be a negative 2, right? Which would be a negative 2. The common difference is negative 2. So let's take a look at the first question. They say that we should calculate the depth of the torpedo at the end of the first 5 seconds. So you know that, okay, this 31 is at the end of the first second, second, third second. So fourth second, what would be the depth at the end of the fourth second? We know that here we would have this value that would be here minus 33 would give us a negative 2. So which value do I minus 33 and I would get negative 2? It's what? It's 31. So the value here needs to be 31. But I know for me to get this 31, I took this value that would be here minus 104 to get 31. So I can call this one, I can call it x. So let's call it x here. Let's call this one x. So I'm going to say x minus 104 is 31, right? So I'm going to have that x is equals to 104 plus 31. So let's see, 104 plus 31, that's 135. So I know for sure that, okay, let me move these things here. I know for sure that this value here is 135, right? Do the same thing. This is not the fifth term, it's the fourth term. So we're looking for the fifth term. You know that also these two minus in each other, it's negative 2, right? So I know for me to get the value that would be here, right, I would say this value minus this one, I would get a negative 2 as well, right? But then look, ask myself, which value do I need to minus 31 then get a negative 2? So obviously going to be 29 minus 31 would give me this negative 2. So this here would be 29, right? So do the same thing. I know for me to get this 29, I took the value that was here, right, minus 135, then I got this 29. So I can say, okay, if this is y, I can say that, okay, I know y minus 135 is going to give me equals to 29, right? So y would be equals to 29 plus 135, right? 135 plus 29, that would be 164, right? So this is 164. So this question of asking us the value of the depth of the torpedo at the end of 5 seconds, it's going to be 164 meters, right? So our answer should be in meters. So we're done with that one. So another way of doing it was actually to substitute that 5 into this formula, it should also give us 134. So I can say T5 is equals to negative into 5 squared plus 38 into 5 minus 1, right? Let's see if it does give us that answer. 5 squared plus 38 into 5 minus 1. It gives us 164 as well, which means that our answer is indeed correct, right? 164. But then because this question came after this one, so they wouldn't expect us to use the formula here, right? So they wanted us to do it this way, the manual way, right? Without using the formula, right? Don't show, rather just give them the answer and not show them the formula, because if you show them the formula, it's going to be like you cheated, because you were not supposed to use the formula. You were supposed to do it the manual way, because we only want the formula after, right? So let's move on to 3.2. right? 3.2, they say that show that the depth of the torpedo at the end of nth seconds is given as that, right? So the pattern that shows how the depth of the torpedo changes with time, right? So we know that this value here, the constant difference, is equals to A, right? So this is the value of A. A equals to that, right? So this value 35 is equals to 3A plus B is equals to that. And this value here is equals to A plus B plus C. So we're going to use the bottom-up approach. So we're going to start by finding the value of A, right? So remember, a quadratic pattern is given as Tn equals to An squared plus Bn plus C. When they say we need to find a pattern, they actually saying go find the value of A, go find the value of B, go find the value of C, right? We're going to use the bottom-up approach. We're going to start with A. Once we got A, we move up, we find B. Once we found B, we move up, we find C, right, using that. So let's start with A. Already we know that, okay, A is equals to -2, right? Then we say that, okay, 3A plus B is equals to 35, right? So we know the value of A is -2, so I can say 3 into -2 plus B is equals to 35. This would give me the value of B. B equals to 35. This is 6. 3 times -2 is 6. So that would be 35 plus 6, right? Which would give me all right. I think I made a mistake here. This is actually A, 2A, not A. All right, I can see it now. Mistakes happen, guys. This is actually 2A equals to this value, not A. 2A equals to this value. Everything else was correct. 2A equals to that. Yeah? Then we're gonna say that, okay, start here, fix our mistake there. 2A is equals to -2, then A is -1, right? Because I see it was not making sense. Sorry about that. Yeah, because it's a depression. It's like commit a suicide. But let's fix it, right? So we're gonna have 3A plus B equals to 35. Then we have 3 into -1 plus B is equals to 35. So this would be -3 plus B equals to 35. Therefore, B is equals to 35 plus 3, which is 38. Right? Now let's go find the value of C. We know that A plus B plus C is equals to this value here, which is 36. So A plus B plus C is 36. What is our A value? -1. B is 38 plus C is what we're looking for. This should give us 36. So therefore, C is going to be equals to 36. When I transpose this 38 and it gets to the other side, it's going to be minus 38. This -1, when I transpose it, it's going to be +1 when it gets to the other side, plus 1. So this is basically going to be 37 minus 38, which is going to be -1, right? So therefore, I can go substitute my values. Go substitute A there, go substitute B there, and substitute C there, right? So we can therefore say Tn is equals to a is -1. It's going to be negative n squared plus 38n minus 1. Right? Problem solved. Yeah? Problem solved. Asivale. Let's make some space here. Let's make some space. All right. I'm going to use the normal eraser. Hope that made sense, guys. Let's move on to 3.3. Right, 3.3, they say we should calculate the maximum depth of the torpedo. This is a beautiful question. It's a common question. It has been repeating like across the years. If you've been doing past papers, you'd see that okay, they might ask you to calculate the maximum or minimum under number patterns. It's nothing new, right? So a number pattern, it's different from a quadratic function in that the range of a number pattern is we're now looking at counting numbers, right? But then it can still have a maximum or minimum. So how would we calculate the minimum value or the maximum value? We would say that x is equals to negative b over 2a. But then in this case, our x is our n, right? N is x. So we're going to say n at maximum is equals to negative b over 2a, right? What is our b? It's our 38. So negative into 38 over 2 into -1, right? So this is going to give us negative into 38 over 2 into -1. This gives us 19, right? Then the Tn max or equals to T19, right? Which is going to be equals to negative into 19 squared plus 38 into 19 minus 1, which would give us, let's put that in our calculator, negative into 19 squared plus 38 into 19 minus 1. This gives us 360, right? That gives us 360 meters, right? So our N max is at the end of 19 seconds. Right, let's move on, guys. 3.4. After how many seconds was the torpedo at 104 meters below sea level, right? For the second time, right? For the second time. All right. Oh, okay. This is the first time. Remember, a quadratic pattern or a quadratic function. It's a function whereby many x values can have one y value, right? As you can see here, there's this x value and that x value can actually have a common y value. It's a many-is-to-one function, right? So we wouldn't surprise when they say that it reaches this 104 meters for the second time, right? So what we actually have to do is to equate the pattern to 104, right, and find the times. And we are expecting that one of the times is 3 seconds. If I solve this pattern and 3 seconds is not one of my solutions, then my answer is going to be wrong, right? So I'm going to say that Tn is equals to 104, right? So negative n squared plus 38n minus 1 equals to 104, right? Let's solve for n then. Transpose everything to the left-hand side. I'm going to have n squared plus 38n minus 1 minus 104 equals 0. So I'm going to have a negative n squared plus 38n minus 105 equals to 0. Use your quadratic formula, right? So n going to be equals to negative b, which is 38, plus minus the square root of 38 squared minus 4 into negative 1 into 105, right? All over 2 into negative 1, right? So n is 3 or n is, let's use our calculator and see if we are correct. So our b value is 38 plus square root of 38 squared minus 4 into -1 into -105 all over 2 into -1. This gives us 3. This is the first value we were expecting it. Let's see the second one, where here is a negative instead. So it gives us 35, right? So after 35 seconds, right, after 35 seconds, it would reach 104 again. So I can say, therefore, n is equals to 35. This is the one that they are looking for, right? Thank you guys for watching this video.